you can only say it so many times before you just go, hey, Juan Soto has to be Juan Soto. And that just naturally has to happen. Now, a lot of drama has arrived with this. We knew things would kind of be amplified returning to Yankee Stadium. And I think that, my biggest point is, Joe, no matter what Juan Soto does or doesn't do, when you get that kind of contract, this is what comes with the territory. We on the Mets pod, we've already experienced this. And yes, it was a different magnitude of money, but at this time for this organization in this city, this was a conversation with Francisco Lindor for a really, really long time. There is an acclimation period. There's an adjustment period. And maybe there's also a maturity period as well, which, you wouldn't expect to be the case with a veteran player, even for a younger player. But for Soto, like this is something that if you don't have your swing, your typical Juan Soto swing and confidence right now, don't make things harder on yourself and make it, even more focused on you with the lack of running to first base. That's a pretty low bar. And what was interesting to me, Joe, was even after the game with him kind of denying it, it was funny to me that he denied it in a ironic way, because he stole second base after he didn't. And you and I texted right away. We were like, he was never getting a double on that. The way the ball flies off the monster, it would have been nice to see him run and then stop at first base. But him stealing second the way he did and how aggressive he was on the Bates pass against the Yankees tells me Juan Soto deep down internally knows he needs to find ways to make up for his lack of being himself in other ways right now, because that's not his bread and butter.
I'm going to say this, and it's going to be very unpopular because of just everything that's going on right now. There is not a hustle issue with Juan Soto. I've been watching this team all year. He's going first to third on singles to right. He's scoring from first on doubles. There's not a general hustle issue with Juan Soto. There are two specific incidents that just happen to be over the last few days that are accentuated by the Mets losing baseball games. And the ground ball that he did not run out against the Yankees is absolutely unacceptable.
Yeah.
You run out ground balls that you hit up the middle. When I initially watched it, it was a check swing kind of thing. So I thought my just reaction initially was, oh, he didn't even know he put the ball in play. It was a check swing and it was kind of too late. And then after watching it more, that clearly was not the case. So there was no reason not to bust out of the box. And part of this too is there's a lot of conversation surrounding Juan Soto's not having fun. Juan Soto has no swagger. Juan Soto's not shuffling. And to a
his
degree,
family made him sign with the Mets.
His family basically forced him that he had to stay or sign with the Mets. At the end of the day, when I look at the Fenway game, and as you mentioned, he probably should have ran. I think he knew that he should have ran, and that's why he went and proceeded to steal second base on the first pitch. Just was not waiting. He was ready and he was going. But part of that too, on the other side of the coin, the Juan Soto swagger is watching balls he knows are home runs. And the wind really messed with the baseball that day. Pete Alonso hit one.
Pete.
Yeah, like the numbers that Gary Cohen brought up with exit velocity and launch angle. In the StatCast era, no ball hit at Fenway Park to left field with those numbers did not get out. So the wind really messed with the baseball. That was the swagger of Juan Soto. When he knows he has one, he stops and he looks at it for a second. So it was a mixed bag of you got the swagger you wanted, but got the lack of hustle that you don't want to see. So there's a lot of conversation surrounding Soto, and big picture, I think everyone at their core thinks Juan Soto is going to be just fine, big picture. But the last week, he hasn't performed, and you combine that with losing baseball games and then the non-hustling and the comments after the fact. You got to learn when you can be honest and when you kind of have to say what you got to say to just move on to the next day. And, I commend honesty. We want to see honesty from our players, but there's just certain situations where you just go, hand up, I should have busted out of the box. I thought it was a home run. It wasn't. That was on me.
Move on.
So what I did, I stole second base right away because I knew that it was an error in judgment. And that's to me, I think the two incidents with Yankee Stadium and Red Sox are misjudgments by Soto, not he has a hustling problem.